Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Motormouth Broadcasting and welcome into the Full Throttle Nation Ultimate GT Championship brought to you by the Roasted Record here for Season 4, Round 3 as well, live from Autódromo Hermanos Rodríguez here this evening. Hamish Runner here with you alongside Jim Cunningham for what is bound to be 60 minutes worth of intense racing around the home of the Mexican Grand Prix in Formula One here in the heart of Mexico City. Of course, this circuit became world famous through Formula One and then most recently as well as a part of the NASCAR Cup Series last year, where we saw some dominance from the New Zealand road course master and Shane Van Gisbergen. Tonight, can anyone master the streets of Mexico City alongside the wonderful stadium section of this circuit as well? Jim, it's a great place to go racing here in Mexico, and a fun circuit too, and I think one that not many people saw coming to iRacing, but one that they definitely welcomed.
Yeah, I'm super excited that this track made that it made the iRacing circuits, and you and I have lobbied to get this into several leagues that we broadcast, including this one. We tried to get it in for last season, but they did not give in, so it took a whole season. But yeah, I love this place. It breeds interesting racing. Some classes race better than others here. If I'm going to be completely honest, this is a large field, so there's probably going to be a few incidents here and there. I would suspect.
I think it's a good track though for large fields. I think that it's nice
Yeah.
and long. It's plenty wide. I have become a believer that the national circuit is a good layout of this circuit. Not that that's the one we're running tonight. I'd be interested to see actually how the Grand Prix circuit goes. This is the first race I get to call at the Grand Prix variant of the circuit on iRacing. I've only actually done the national circuit previously. So it'd be an interesting prospect to see how they go down, when they get into the braking zone at turn 4 and just how tight it really is if they'll be playing ping pong
Oh,
as
speaking of ping pong,
Sebastian Vettel did many years ago in Formula One, and cars are just struggling right now in qualifying, but good laps coming in already. I think there will be a little bit of field spread tonight, Jim. Obviously, we don't get safety cars, so often at times there is a bit of field spread. But I think there will be some survival factor in there too. How will the management of the traffic go here tonight? I would scale it roughly at around about a 5 out of 10. It just really depends where you're going to meet the traffic on the road tonight, whether you meet it through turn 4 to turn 6, then you've kind of got to be patient. Or if you meet them in the stadium, it's pretty much a no-go zone to try and go past them. So I think they're at about a 50% difficulty rating for traffic management tonight. When we were at Long Beach, that was
well,
probably a 10 out of 10.
that's
you know?
another animal. Well, here, let's take a look at this at the track map here at Mexico while we're getting into the warm up session and give folks a look at what this place is actually like.
Well, it's a wonderful circuit. It's been in Formula One now for I think a little over 10 years to this point. So it's quite funny how quickly the what felt new at the time feels really old at this point in terms of Formula One fandom. It still feels new, obviously, to NASCAR fans. We are in the heart of Mexico City. You can see the old town. I mean, we're literally in the dead center of town. There's so much stuff around it, but as we look at this wonderful circuit, obviously two big long straights, the first of which on the start-finish straight leads down towards turn 1, 2, 3, and 4, the first little chicane section where we'll often see cars running wide under brakes on lap 1 or a couple of spins happening too as everyone's tightened up through there. Then it's the run down towards what would be the second DRS zone in Formula One terms, towards turn 4, 5, and 6, which is at the first little stadium section of this circuit. And then there's this wonderful switchback of 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 up towards turn 12, where it's almost got a bit of maggots and Beckett's about it. You're throwing the car through, letting it dance through these twists and turns as you lead yourself up towards the proper stadium section, the baseball stadium section at the end of it, where we also have got a mini Legends Oval in amongst this area as well as there's other variants of this circuit too, which actually skip out the stadium. But I think the difficulty in here is the overlapping after the big speed you bring into that first corner into here, and then the tight chicane section as well. That's another difficulty too. But coming around that final corner, you've got to be careful. This pit entry, Jim, very easy to get overhooked with each other, very easy to get into contact zones with each other as well. And of course, 16 turns. It's a really, really tough place to go racing, but it is one that's very rewarding too when you can put a complete lap together around here. And I think plenty of opportunities for passing. And as I said, it's probably on a 5 out of 10 in terms of the difficulty for traffic management that we'll find this season. I think overtaking opportunities is probably at around about a 7 out of 10. You can definitely defend better here, but you can get some great runs too. But I think maximizing exits of corners, that's going to be the key if you want to get overtakes made.
16 is definitely going to be a key corner to get a good exit out of. It's very slick there. A lot of people spin there, and it's a blind corner. So if you spin there, if trouble could be coming because they can't see you. That's been in all the races that I've called here. That seems to be the hot area for problems. Let's take a look at the points here while we've got a minute. Let's see what we got going on here so far.
Well, of course, after his great run in the first few rounds this season, Ricardo Delgado finds himself in the championship lead. A horrid round last time out at Long Beach for Nathan Biggett finds him in P2 in the title race at this stage. Derek Fulker in P3 at the moment. He's still within the hunt, as is Brett Thurman and Justin Bock. Michael Anderson, Tyler Merritt ahead of Daniel Schmoll, Scott Petrone, and Francis Crosby is currently our top 10 for the GT3 Pro class. As we look towards the GT3 Pro-Ams as well, Michael Caffrey, David Gallant, well, it's the control of the Australians at the moment in the Pro-Am section of this series. 287 points currently sitting with Michael Caffrey. Gallant, 268. They're both our race winners thus far this season. Brian Scott, Harrison Holiday, Justin Welsh. That's the top 5. Ty Baxter, Jason Holland, Philip Caffrey, David Steiner, and Kurt Basler is the 10 for the Pro-Am title race. But realistically, right now, it is a 2-horse race in that Pro-Am title. And for the AMs, well, it's another 2-horse race as well. It's the Cotterman 2-horse race. Jed and Jacob, 6 points separate them, and they are 22 points adrift at the bare minimum back to Chet Miller in P3. James Lenevan, Jody Nelson, the top 5. Jonathan Swan, Greg Lawrence, Brandon Herzing, Trevor Thomas, and Mark Ogier are currently the top 10 in that class as well. For the GT4s, as we move on to them, it is the Cole Malley show. 52 points is the gap back to Timothy Schaefer. He's won both races thus far as Cole Malley. He'll look to go 3-0 here tonight as we head into Mexico City. For Schaefer, he's got to try and hope that he can get a bit better luck about him, as Cole will be hoping just to hang on to that lead. All he has to do is maintain the lead now for the rest of the season. If he can maintain that sort of lead or maintain it, he'll be in pretty good section come the end of the season. But for Lavrisa, Smith, and Last, they've got work to do. Same for Bassina, Grondon, Patton. We know that Kylie's got good pace, and so does Voigt as well. But for Malley, he is sitting pretty at the front end of town for the GT4s.
He is, and I want to take a second to shout out to Cole. As I'm going to put him up here on camera and everything and put his little driver video up in the whole 9 yards. He's looking extremely stylish this evening, by the way, as we're getting ready to grid up here. So I tell you what, I'm going to save that, and I'll do it when I got a little more time because we're about to grid up, and this is a big grid. So we'll come back to Cole, and I will shout out to him a little bit later. Let's get the pace car out here, and let's get this grid going since we got so many cars. And by the way, I've got control tonight, so you can work at your own pace, sir.
That's good. Off the rip, Cole Malley looks like he's ready for parent-teacher interviews.
He does, indeed.
Daniel Small and Ricardo Delgado, the pro leader in the championship at the moment, sits on the front row of the grid at this stage. It's a BMW and Corvette battle. In behind them, it's the battle of the front engine motors of Mustang and BMW. Lance Campbell and Derek Fulker on the second row of the grid. Back to row 3 we go, to Francis Crosby and Justin Bock as well. As we head on over to row 4. That's a great picture, Justin.
That's awesome.
I must say. We get the AM pole sitter tonight of Jed Cotterman starting at a P7, P8 going to Stephen Smith. By the way, Lance Campbell was the pole sitter of the Pro-Am class a couple of rows ago. Row 5 now we go on to, and we'll find David Volper and David Steiner, and all David row 5 here tonight as they'll battle for supremacy back there with Brett Thurman and Kurt Basler for our top 12 cars on the road. As the pace car leads us away, we begin our warm-up lap. Row 7, back to Michael Caffrey and Harrison Holiday for the top 14 cars as we head on over to row 8 now, and we find Zach Houston and David Galland for our top 16 entries here tonight. Michael Anderson, Ty Baxter as well in behind them. And then for our 10th row of the grid to make up our top 20, we have James Lineven and Brandon Herzing. We're only halfway through this grid, folks. It's still getting longer and longer. Scott Petrone, Chet Miller in behind those guys for the 11th row of the grid. Row 12 is Kyle Smith and Greg Lawrence for our top 24 cars. Then it's Jody Nelson and Philip Caffrey lining up in behind those guys, with Justin Welsh and Jason Holland for the top 28. Jacob Cotterman, Mr. Collarbone himself, starts alongside Eric Cruz for the top 30. Cole Malley, GT4 Championship leader, the accountant himself, will start alongside John Voigt there, with Corey Patton and Michael Smith starting alongside each other, with Matt Lass and Cameron Oldfield in behind them, to Chris Grondin and Brendan Bassina for our top 38 cars. Into the 20th row we go. We get to Brian Lavrisa and Aiden Kiley starting back in 40th position. Work to be done for him. Timothy Schaefer, Eric Fernandez in behind those guys. As we've still got a few more rows to go with DJ Patterson and Hunter Gerard as well. And then to the final row of the grid, it's Herschel Lawrence in P45 on the grid here this evening. 45 cars, 3 driver classes, 2 car classes across the road tonight as well. GT3, GT4 action. What more could you ask for? Maybe throw some LMP3s out there, possibly. That'd be a nice surprise. And a fun time ahead.
Yes, indeed. A fun time. Good job on the grid there. That is a huge grid. People do not realize how difficult it is to get through that many cars. Thank God they did a full pace lap.
A big old grid.
It's awesome, though. It makes for great racing, so... Lance Campbell, holy cow, man. That dude qualified 3rd overall.
Lance Campbell sounds like a 1980s territory wrestling, like Sunday Night Wrestling presenter.
He does. Oh, Lance Campbell. Yeah, but no, I mean, good on he's had some good runs so far with this league. His runs in GT4 were back a few seasons ago were quite impressive.
Well, as the pace car will come into pit lane, it'll be at the control of Daniel Schmoll. Ricardo Delgado alongside. No bigot on the road tonight, so it's anyone's game to gain some points on the Mustang driver. As it is green flag at Autódromo Hermanos Rodríguez. Great start from Schmoll. Delgado immediately tries to cover the lines of Fulker and Campbell in behind him. Crosby and Bock want to try and make it 3 wide as well further back as we run it down towards turn 1 for the very first time. Hard on the brakes we come, and for Schmoll, he's going to hang on to it at this stage. Delgado and Fulker side by side through turn 2 as well. Battle for the final podium positions is still on, even though it's so early on in this race. GT4s, they would have just been started as well, as they're now heading down towards turn 1, 2. And they've got some pressure on them. But this GT3 battle's been intense thus far.
Oh, yeah. We were off to a great start there. And as the GT4s come roaring down here into turn 1, just get a look at them going through this section. And then we'll make sure they get through there clean. And we'll jump back up front in the GTs. GT3s.
I'll tell you what, Cole Malley is on God mode this season, Jim. It must be said. 2-0 thus far. Starts on pole and is already leading this race by a fair margin over Corey Patton. 1.5 seconds is already the gap back there, by the way.
Holy cow.
2.5 seconds back to Ricardo Delgado.
How in the hell do you get a 2.5 second lead on one?
I'll be honest, I think Delgado, he was under pressure from Fulker, so I wonder if Fulker was maybe attacking him down towards turn 4, and that's given up some time to Schmoll through the initial stadium section of this circuit. Into the baseball stadium section they come now, and up towards that very difficult little chicane as the Merc's inside of him. Gives him a knock and a bump, and into the wall goes the Mustang of David Gallant. And what more can he do?
There's not a whole lot there, and I'm not sure if that was his front end that went off, but Brett Thurman was involved in that, and he's right down on pit road, dropping down.
Yeah, he was the one that gave him the bump and just pushed him into the wall. And if there's post-race penalties to be applied, there may be one coming the way of Brett Thurman, because that there was call him a waiter, Jim, because that was an absolute serving.
That was a good one.
Thank you.
ride on board
David
here with
Steiner.
David Steiner.
Been very impressive so far in the early part of the season, as well as DJ Patterson has had a moment in the GT4 class. He's just spun it round back in the stadium section. It appears all on his lonesome, although maybe not. Was there someone involved? No, he's hopped it off the curb.
Oh,
he
man.
did the classic curb hop.
Ooh,
and
that was a curb hop, too. Holy cow.
And that Aston Martin has gone round.
All right, let me see here. Okay. So
I'll tell you what, folks, if you like overtakes, you're going to get plenty of them tonight.
Yeah, I think you are as well. This is going to be a field full of them here. I'm not so sure how quick the overtake in the front of the field is going to occur, though. Look at this gap, would you?
Well, the gap's actually being maintained.
I mean,
it's
it
about
is
2.5
being
seconds
yes.
still. So
but it's still
for
blowing me away.
For Delgado, he's still got great pace to actually hang with Schmoll. He's just got to try and tighten the screws and claw back some of that gap just a little bit. I think he can do it. Now that he's broken away from Fulker and co, he can just start to knuckle down, put the power under this Corvette, and really motor it forward up to the back end of Schmoll's BMW.
All right.
As Cameron Oldfield, well, he's found an Oldfield at the moment, and he's up in the grass at turn 4.
I'm
and
trying
he is not having
to
a time.
find that incident with the serving earlier, but if you get a chance, could you give me an idea where that's at in the timeline, if you would?
Sure, I will have a little look to see if I can find it. Where's this one? Okay, this is down here.
Should have been Gallant and I can't remember the other guy's name right now, but
And Thurman.
yes, Thurman.
Gallant and Thurman. Okay, so he enters pit lane. Okay, so go back to...
Yep, just give me the number.
Go to 5:50:58.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
For Michael Caffrey passing David Gallant. That's just before it happens.
5:50:58.
Yes.
That is so weird. That is not on my timeline.
For one, Michael Caffrey passing David Gallant for P16.
Interesting. We'll look at that in a second here. Let's see what's going on.
We'll try and find it.
Yeah, I'm still looking here. I don't. Yeah, it's.
Well, we've got some battling at this stage between a couple of Canadians out there. Lance Campbell, Francis Crosby battling for Maple supremacy here inside the stadium section. Justin Box just in behind them as well in the Acura. Jed Gotterman leads for the GT3 AM class just inside of the top 10 at the moment. He's up into started P7. He's remaining in P7 at this stage ahead of Stephen Smith, Kurt Basler, and David Steiner makes up the top 10.
I think I've got it, but it was at a completely different spot in my timeline.
Very interesting.
Yep, it was at 5:40 in my timeline.
Oh. Okay, so let's play at full speed just for this stage because we're still got to get down to the actual stadium. So it's a massive scramble. Big dive up the inside goes Gallant. Gives him a little knock, but that's okay. But then just hops the curb, drives it straight back on and into the Mustang.
So I got two takes on that, all right? And I know that we probably should be live on this, but I am going to show it one more time from hopefully the chopper angle when we get there. I knew it was going to cut out on me.
We're a bit further back because this is the end of the lap. This is past the stadium.
All right, we'll just jump back here. So anyway, my take on that is, okay, Gallant sent it in there on him, okay?
He did.
And he pushed him wide. He pushed him over the curbing. And then as he re-entered the track, the curbing caused him to hit Gallant. Okay, so I say that portion of it is probably on Gallant. But
I would argue, Jim. So I would say he continued and pushed him off.
Yes.
I would argue, Jim. So there's two ways to look at this, right? From a penalty perspective, okay. So Gallant gives him a bump and run, knocks him off the road course, but he doesn't hit the wall. So it's nothing egregious, right? He just bangs doors with him. It really depends if he's alongside before the turn in at the corner prior, right? That's a whole separate incident. Officially, when Thurman's car goes over the white line, he is not classified on the racing surface anymore, so he has no rights to rejoining the circuit. He has to wait for a gap to rejoin the circuit. He can't just rejoin straight away. He's rejoined straight away. He's made contact with Gallant, and then he's pushed Gallant off the track. For my money, it would be maybe a minor points penalty to Gallant, but ultimately it'd be a drive-through for Thurman because he's pushed Gallant off the road and into the wall.
It's a good thing you and I aren't live stewards instead of broadcasters because we would totally disagree on that. I don't see how you penalize
because he's off the roads. He's off the racing surface. He's outside the white line.
He got knocked off of the circuit by the
that's
other
why you
driver.
That's why you need to look at it from two different perspectives. And unfortunately, in the rules, when they write rules and they claim the racing surface is the edge of the track, which is the white line, you lose your rights to racing room when you're off the racing circuit.
Jacob here looks like he's holding up half the field.
He does. He just seems to be really struggling back here.
He's twitching all over the place too, and he's got that thing. That thing's on a loose setup for him or something. But he's got him stacked up behind him there.
I feel like the McLaren's really taken a back step in the last
couple of weeks
since the last season update. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think since the bop for the Daytona weeks and stuff, it just seems like it's not the car that it was. It was fast.
I would argue even before then. I would argue the season 1 update. Maybe even the hotfix. It has just taken a back step in terms of its competitiveness because ultimately we know the Corvette's back to being competitive because of its tyre wear issues, which were the thing that made it uncompetitive, are now gone and out. So all of a sudden, it's a rocket ship again.
Harrison has moved his positioning in relation to his flowers.
He has. His camera also looks about as slow as his eyes may.
He's not as chill looking as he used to be, though.
No, he's very intense today.
He is very intense.
Maybe he's not on holiday anymore. Maybe he's now Harrison Workday.
I'm sure he's going to be Harrison Holiday no matter what. You know what I'm saying?
Justin Welch as well.
He's having a good run, though. I mean, he's 4th in Pro-Am right now. And
he's stolen his grandfather's driving gloves, I see.
Don't tell me he's got the fingerless one. No, he's literally got work gloves
They're the brown leather. They're either brown leather ones or they're work gloves. One of the two.
Oh, look at this jumble here. This ought to be interesting. Well,
Derek Fulker trying to go up the inside.
Any further away with the camera? We got slowdowns everywhere. Look, there's.
I'm not surprised. This track is horrid for slowdowns, and because we're running the Grand Prix. Oh, there is contact between Fulker and I think that was that Stephen Smith or was that Jed Cotterman?
No, huh?
No, it wasn't Jed. It was not Jed. It was.
I don't see anybody dropping down the order. That's the thing.
I think it was David Volper. Volper was already gone. He had contact with a GT4 car. It's actually, oh my god. Okay, so actually, what's David done? Has David just completely bottled the overtake of a GT4?
Did he?
Oh, he has. Oh, that's disgusting.
Wait a minute, what?
That's actually just a disgusting attempt.
What?
14:10:05, lap 6. David Volper crashed.
Yeah.
Just before Michael Caffrey passes him. This is just a. That's just.
What?
That is just.
Was that?
That is one of the. Well, that was certainly an attempt.
No. An attempt.
No, but attempted murder.
Yeah. What in the world?
He's just drilled him. He's just drilled straight into him.
Okay.
Who
was
I'm
that
sorry,
he
David.
hit?
It was DJ Patterson.
Holy
who,
shit.
At the moment, may have maybe a part of the record for possibly the worst overtake on a GT4 car of all time.
That's
because he's a DJ.
That's
just.
That's rough there, man. All right. Well, holy cow.
When you see incidents like that, you understand why some lower class drivers hate higher class drivers.
Absolutely. Look at this battle, wouldn't you? You got Holiday, Zach Houston and David Steiner all right here on top of each other. 4th, 5th, and 6th in Pro-Am running all together here.
All together and having a hot battle for it as well. As we can see that Houston is under pressure here from... Is that lap traffic? Is that a lap traffic Porsche?
Where?
Surely not. The Porsche was trying to go past... Oh, no,
Whiteman?
it is Houston. It's actually Houston. Okay, that's my mistake. I thought we were looking at somebody else. My brain is just all over the place right now.
Yeah. That's why we have the why we have the pretty little cars in the bottom to help you.
I know.
All right.
And I was so gobsmacked by what we saw.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Believe it.
So am I. Yeah, this is John Voight back here getting some business, trying to get some business done here on Matt Lass.
John's doing a good job. He was very consistent last season, Jim.
Oh yeah, Voight was solid as a rock last season.
He drove very, very well last season, did John? And
didn't he have an incident early in this race already, though? Is this?
No, he was.
Okay.
He's had a tough run in the first half of this season, or the first portion of this season. Last 2 races, he's had a very tough run, and I think he's just been trying to chip away and stay consistent. I think the problem is no one is able to match the pure consistency and pace of Cole Malley at the moment.
Well,
I think he is just on another level.
He is indeed.
Cole seems super tough just to contest with at this point. He's already built up an 11-second lead over Corey Patton. I mean, we need to find some fast GT4 drivers, Jim, just to really put Cole to the sword.
Yeah, I mean, I would argue that this is Cole's year, just like it was Lance Campbell's year prior. I think this is Cole's year to, if he continues on to win this class and to move up. That's kind of the nature of this stuff. I would argue that the GT4 class is more of a learning place for newer drivers to the league and newer drivers to GT racing.
I would argue that Cole doesn't really need to learn. I mean, he's
good. No, that's what I'm saying. This is his year.
You know what I mean?
Just like it was Lance Campbell's the last 2 seasons, and Voight was, is arguably a guy who could move up as well. Voight was really super tough last season as he just got by Matt Lass there, it looks like.
So to kind of give a real world, I suppose, maybe comparison, perhaps on the overall skill spread, if you want to put it to lower class versus a higher class of driver, let's look at Formula One again. We're at a Formula One track. Let's look at Formula One. Let's take a Formula One rookie from last year, so either Isaac Hadjar, Oliver Behrman, Gabriel Bortoletto, Franco Colapinto, or Kimi Antonelli, and put them back in an F2 and put them back in an F2 car.
They would dominate.
And like that is, Cole is driving like...
Yes, he's ready to be in Formula One, but he hasn't got a ride yet, and he's still in Formula 2.
Yeah, like that's the level that is happening right now. And one thing that I'm excited for, that there...
It's a Mustang.
It was.
It wasn't that one.
James Leneven.
Yep.
I believe it was. Yeah, James Leneven.
Wow. Didn't he start? Where did Leneven start? He started pretty high up, didn't he? He's down 5 spots. He started at 19th, 19th position. So he's down a couple of spots right now after a tough start to this race. Interesting point, by the way. Just back to Cole Malley just for a quick second here. Himself and Aiden Kiley are attempting the Bathurst 12-hour next month, Jim. Yeah, they actually asked me if I wanted to drive with them.
Well, Jim.
Are you driving with them?
There is a certain person who loves patience who will be attempting the mountain once again after 2 years.
Oh, look at there.
With Cole Malley and Aiden Kiley.
Yeah. I never did actually respond to that. I was busy and I forgot about it, to be honest, until just now. Who is that going super slow there? Is that just somebody getting out of the way?
I think that's one of the GT4s. That might be DJ Patterson. Again, it is DJ, who I think has had the fear put into him from GT3 cars after being, let's be honest. Well, let's be honest. He was
Well, he was murdered.
This is pure 1980s bullying from a varsity football player to
Nah,
a freshman nerd
it's even worse
who's
than
not,
that because that
and
would
he's
be
actually worse than that.
intentional. That was just an absolutely egregious wreck. I mean, did he forget he had a brake pedal? I don't even know. You know, bullying is when
I
you
actually,
muscle somebody out of the way.
I
He just
actually,
ran over him.
I actually think, Jim, he got confused and thought it was a GT3 Aston Martin,
Maybe.
and he thought they were carrying a lot more speed.
Maybe. I mean, but still, he wasn't
I
getting that
doubt
car
it.
stopped. It didn't matter who was in front of him. He wasn't getting his
No,
car stopped at that
he
point.
was driving like there was no car in front of him. He was attacking the corner like there was no one there.
Right.
And I think ultimately, it was just. I'm trying to think of the correct word. Not the word's not
Jed,
unsafe.
what are you
As
doing?
Jed's just. Well, okay. It appears that Jed attacks corners how he's classified this season as an amateur, but his pace definitely does not dictate that at all. Good to see though. He picked himself up a Ford racing shirt when he was at Daytona this last weekend. Unfortunately, he's driving a Merc.
Right. Well,
here this evening.
He is definitely a Mustang guy at heart, though, so we know that. But I think he just switched it up this year. But
The Mustang GT3 is a sexy vehicle, though, it must be said.
It
Probably
is.
one of the better-looking GT3 cars.
I'm not
in
going to
the
lie
field.
to you. The Mustang GT3 blew me away when I saw it. Red Bull came to Houston. I probably told you this story before. They brought all their race teams. You know, they brought a Formula One car, and they brought Mad Mike, and they brought, you know, the race truck, and they brought one of their GT3 Mustangs. Man, when that car came by, oh my gosh, man. That engine was thundering. That thing sounded amazing.
Well, Jim, I love the thought process of Red Bull to keep some level of kayfabe alive that a supercar could possibly lap faster than a GT3 Mustang in their latest video with Max Verstappen and Arvid Lindblad on the Red Bull socials. Unfortunately, GT3 car runs about 2 or 3 seconds faster than a supercar at any race circuit it goes to.
Yeah, well, then you got Max Verstappen also.
Actually, no, true. It actually was quite well balanced. They had Max in the supercar and they had Arvid in the GT.
Okay.
So
Yeah, well, because I mean, you know, I mean, Max is a freak. But here it's a good time. I'm gonna pop back here with, well, Cole's lead has dropped significantly.
No, he's grown it. It's up to 14
seconds.
Never
mind. That was that was a Pro-Am car behind him that I was looking at. So anyway, shout out to Cole. I don't know if he actually dressed up for us tonight or if this is the way he came in from work.
This is just his wardrobe, Jim.
I mean, it is. Well, see, what I didn't know is Cole is an engineer. I did not.
Jim.
What?
I know we make all our jokes and stuff.
Yeah.
Let's be real with ourselves.
Yeah.
If we had genuinely been asked what is Cole Malloy, I would have said engineer.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
Okay, so he is an engineer, and this week, you know, I've been recently adding some new graphic stuff to our software and things. You know, different things like, for example, you know, like the fast five for the past 5 laps average. Your fastest guys on track over the last 5 laps. If you'll notice now, that matches all of our other color schemes with the nice red to black fade and everything. Cole did all that. He did that he's basically doing it for every one of my leagues. He's color matching it to the league for us. He's really good with CSS code, and he's taking time out of his busy schedule, married guy, you know, the whole 9 yards, and family life and work and practice for racing. And he took some time out this week to do that for us, and we are incredibly appreciative of that. And I just wanted to give him a shout out for that as well.
Does Cole know how to make plugins, Jim?
He probably does. He probably would have to study a few, but I got a feeling that in the long run, yes, he probably could make us some plugins.
I might have to have some conversations with Mr. Malley at some point. I suppose I'll have 12 hours to talk to him about it. So
Yes, that's exactly right.
yeah.
All right, let's go back up here and check on your race leader. Speaking of nice gaps, he has definitely built a nice gap, almost 11 and a half seconds now over Delgado, which I have to admit is pretty damn impressive because Delgado's fast.
Yeah, I know. Like, I mean, Delgado he's a very, very quick driver
Very
now.
quick.
He has been caught in a little bit of traffic, but not necessarily stuff that would cost him 11 seconds. I think the thought maybe now of Delgado tonight is, let's just run a clean race. My closest rival this season is not here tonight, Nathan Biggett, and let's just solidify P2 points. Because I think at this stage, he doesn't need the race win tonight, Jim. He just needs a good points finish. And one race where you're giving up a race win, but you're taking a P2, you take that 9 ways to Sunday. I mean, it's, you take it any day of the week because he's got a clean car. He's not pushing it too hard. And if something happens that goes his way in terms of Schmel getting caught up in something, he's nowhere near him to be caught up in it as well. He can keep himself clean. He can keep his car tidy and just bank some solid points heading into round 4 next week. And I think it's a sound strategy for Ricciardo. Maybe he doesn't feel ultimately as comfortable tonight as what maybe the BMW driver or Schmoll does. He knows that. I think he's just happy to be placed where he is right now and hanging on to the points that he'd be getting.
I mean, I can't disagree with any of that as we drop back here to Justin Bach, who has got Lance Campbell. Obviously different.
Has Justin got his VR on his forehead?
No, he's got
No, it's a hat.
Yeah.
That's a hat. From my angle, it looked like a VR headset.
Well, have you ever seen one of the eye tracking things that goes on a cap? It's actually pretty cool. They work pretty well. But yeah, I mean, this is an out-of-class battle, but nevertheless, it's still all GT3s. So Campbell and Justin Bach up here battling for 3rd and 4th overall, and of course Campbell is obviously first in class tonight. Is this Campbell's first race in GT3?
No, not tonight. I don't think. Let me check the points to see if he's on the pro-am list already.
I feel like I don't recall him being.
He's not in the top 10.
Yeah, so I think it is because, he drove GT4 the last 2 seasons and won both of those seasons, if I'm not mistaken.
And then I believed he was asked to go up.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he was asked or if he chose to or whatever. But this is the first time I recall seeing him, and I feel like I would remember that because he's so damn fast. He just got by Justin Bach. He's literally running 3rd overall.
We've got a Cruz driving slow there as well. He's just had a spin down there. Only a couple of moments ago, he was just trying to pick up the pieces out on the side of the circuit too. We've had Kyle Smith out of the GT3 class pull out of tonight's race as well, apparently. So he's out of tonight's event too. So that's another GT3, or that's a GT3 car that's now gone. I believe DJ Patterson may be out as well because he's been in pit lane for the last 7 minutes. So I think his race may be done at this stage as well, which is really unfortunate for DJ because DJ.
It's cooking it in there.
Yeah.
Plenty of runoff.
That's a real shame. Yeah, it's the same corner too that Eric Cruz goes around in the Lamborghini as well. Only a couple of moments later, I do believe.
Does he go around or does he just?
He went fully around. He's now into pit lane. Is Eric Cruz?
That's a good-looking car, by the way.
Yeah, nice Lamborghini for himself, and in fact it was actually just off the end of the stadium, the first little stadium there at turn 6. It's caught the curb and around she went. Classic Lamborghini stuff, if you ask me. If you're watching out there with us tonight as well, it is a conspiracy. The Audi is your Lamborghini. If you're watching out there with us tonight, by the way, please be sure to get into the chat as well. Let us know who you want us to keep an eye on. We've got a long race still to go, another 30 odd minutes left in this race. And be sure as well, if you're just joining us for the first time, you've been here for a while and you haven't done so just yet, hit the like button and subscribe to the bell icon as well so you're notified whenever we go racing right here on Monomath Broadcasting. Big weekend coming your way. Tomorrow night, Thursday night, of course, we have a double header of truck action with Oak House Racing Truck Series and Maximum Velocity Truck Series as well. On Friday night, We're back with more sports car action, Jim, out of
Yes.
Bite Point Racing for the LMP2 and GT3. Does it have any other classes, or is it just LMP2 and GT3?
GT3 and LMP2. That's it.
All right, very good. Okay, yeah, so European Le Mans style, LMP2 GT3 action, and I believe they're racing right here at Autódromo Hermanos
Yes,
Rodríguez
they
as
follow.
well, aren't
Both
they?
of them follow the same schedules. They're kind of
Very good.
sister leagues to each other. And,
That makes the announcements easier every single week when I'm
does.
promoting them, Jim. So that's great.
It does
Aiden
indeed.
Kiley as well has just run it wide down in the stadium section too. So he, again, just really struggling this season is Aiden, unfortunately. He's just bringing it into pit lane. Lance Campbell's into pit lane as well out of the race lead of the Pro-Am class. So Kurt Basler will come past him. If Lance were to go on tonight, it would make 3 non-US drivers to win out of 3 times this season in that class.
Well,
We would have no American winners.
that's interesting. There's a lot of
It's pretty rare.
There's a lot of talented. There's a lot of talented foreign drivers in that field. If you look at it,
Yeah.
I mean, Kurt Basler, Steiner, Michael Caffrey, Harrison Holliday. Lance Campbell. Come on now. Just
Harrison Holliday may use
because he's got flowers does not mean. Oh, look, he is literally shifted out of the picture frame now. It's more his gloves now. He's focused.
That camera is moving.
It is moving.
I reckon it's moving because
shaky.
of the shake of
Yeah,
the wheel.
yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, they're pitting all over the place now.
Multiple pit stops coming our way as Campbell and we have Jason Holland into pit lane as well. Oh, Jody Nelson has just towed back to pits. He had an incident. Oh, and it was down at the stadium.
There it is. Let's see.
And it's all in his lonesome as
no,
well. Oh,
it
it's
wasn't.
not. That's Schmall?
That was
Was that
Schmall.
Daniel Schmall?
Yeah. Yep. Wow. Okay, so let's do that. Let's click
Oh, hang on. Hang on. Schmall. I don't think he wasn't on his own. Schmall was taken out by a GT3 McLaren.
What?
He gave a door to him, and then the McLarens turned him.
Oh? Well, let's go back and see the whole thing.
Gives a knock, and then the McLaren just gives him a serve.
Okay.
And I think Schmall may have been getting frustrated because of the blue flags on that McLaren.
Do we have any idea who that was?
Jason Holland? Yes, it was. Jason Holland.
Well, he's a Tennessee Volunteers fan. What do you expect? Boy, you talk about frustrated, man. Can you imagine where Schmall's frustration is right now?
Huge.
Yeah.
Absolutely huge.
He gets spun in the lead. He's still in the lead. But he gets spun in the lead, and then trying to get back going again, he makes an unsafe rejoin, and they're spinning in front of him again.
Now, I'm not going to make an excuse, right, for what McLaren of Holland did. Not at all, right?
No.
Because him turning the race lead is not right. But that does not excuse Schmall giving him a door up towards the stadium and basically
also,
saying, you should have let me go.
Right, and also an unsafe rejoin after the fact.
Yep.
Because he was angry and he didn't pay attention, and he pulled right in the path of a car that had nothing to do with anything.
Exactly right. And ultimately, and this goes out to anyone out there who is approaching blue flag cars, you need to remember, blue flag cars do not need to move over for you. You need to pass them safely. The only rule with blue flags is they cannot defend the position. So ultimately, the easiest place to pass them is into a corner, and they are not allowed to move over on you. That is the rule of blue flags. They do not have to pull over and slow down for you. That was Aiden.
There,
yeah, he's having a real struggle tonight.
Yeah,
it's a real shame.
This track is not easy, man. It is slick.
No, it's not. It's a tough track. It's slick. It's hot. The off tracks are atrocious, especially for the Grand Prix circuit. The national circuit is wonderful for off tracks, Jim, because there are none. They do not exist. But for the Grand Prix circuit, it is Red Bull Ring levels of confusion and atrocity in terms of off tracks.
So here we've got Michael Anderson with battling Delgado here, although I don't believe Anderson is pitted yet. He is not.
No.
Anderson is a
Now,
cool cucumber. Let me just tell you that.
yeah,
That
he
dude,
is a cool cucumber.
he won Friday night's GT3 race, if I'm not mistaken. I believe he did. But yeah, his expression never changes, man. I mean, he's just solid as a rocket there. He gets mad apparently, but he doesn't show it. Well, look. Why do I see incidents all over the place? What is going on here?
Something's been happening. Hunter Gerard has been in something.
There's Folker.
There's Derek Fulker
Okay,
at the
no harm, no foul there.
no harm, no foul. That's at the back end of the circuit.
So, Greg Lawrence and showing here. Oh, just straight on.
Well, he's taking the alternate layout
straight
of the
on
circuit.
for you. Okay, that's different. Eric Cruz. Oh, Eric Cruz. What? We got to find a camera angle on that, buddy.
Yeah, I was going to say the trees had a good view of it, Jim, but we didn't. Oh, it's another curb hop spin for the Lamborghini.
Okay, he didn't tear it up.
He didn't bash the wall. He gave it a little kiss, but that's about it.
No, well, that may not be it. Let's go see. I'm thinking that potentially is not it. Okay, I'm not sure what that was. That was Greg Lawrence spinning and blinking and spinning and blinking. No, that was. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Here we got Hunter Gerard. We got incidents, and they're all independent incidents. Okay, that was
okay.
Okay. Oof. What a mess.
It's starting to come unglued here. The back end of
the. If he's I failed to check the track temperature like a moron.
Well, I was going to say, have they taken tires maybe, and have they got cold tires?
Well, some of these guys spinning aren't on old tires. I mean, hadn't pitted yet.
Well, I'll be able to tell you the temps, at least at the circuit, Jim.
Yeah,
track temperature is only 24 degrees, so we're prime time temperatures right now.
I mean, yeah, that's not.
We are literally
not super hot by any means.
We are on 24 degrees centigrade.
Yeah.
So that's what.
It is 75 degrees. That's
75.
That's
it
as
is
good
prime
as you're
time.
ever. You know something we didn't talk about? Elevation here at Mexico City affects downforce.
It does.
And we have
because
not talked
the elevation
about that.
here. Well, the elevation here is, in terms of elevation change around the circuit, is null and void. The whole circuit is basically flat.
Yeah.
But Mexico City is elevated slightly to
6,000 feet above, I think.
Yeah, something like that, because it's right in the center of Mexico. So to kind of give the description of how Mexico is kind of laid out in terms of its topography, Mexico is almost like a giant mountain range, I guess we could say, Jim.
Yeah.
Where it's super flat at either end, and then as you get closer to the middle, the elevation starts to rise and go up.
It's a very typical of what you might consider like a volcanic type creation where it flattens out at the coast, but it's higher in the center. And Mexico City is, I want to say, about 6,100 feet elevation. I might be wrong.
Yeah, it's very, very high up. So another talking point for this is as well. So the reason that Mexican professional wrestlers who train and mainly wrestle out of Mexico City, there's a reason why they are actually some of the best endurance wrestlers in the world.
Yeah, it's like
same with Mexican football players as well.
It's like wrestling in Denver all the time.
Well, yeah, exactly, or Minnesota. You know,
Minnesota's not that kind of elevation.
Yeah, but it's covered in snow, Jim, so it's cold air, so it feels like you're highly elevated.
What the hell? It's covered in snow. Yeah, like 4 months, 3 months, 4 months out of the year. It's not like it's not like it's oh, here we go. It's not like it's Antarctica. I knew that was coming.
So there's a reason why they have such good endurance. It's the same thing for Mexican football players as well. It's the elevation. The air is so thin that they have to be able to learn to be able to hold oxygen in much better, and that's why they're so much better at in terms of endurance rated sports. That's why they're better at it.
I'm going to leave that alone. No, I mean, you're correct. You're 100% correct. I just was going to turn that into a stupid joke, but I'm not. No, and air, the way thin air affects downforce on cars is it does not push as hard on the aero, and
No,
so
because there's not. It's not as. Well, obviously, it's
dense.
not as thick. It's
Yeah.
not as dense. So it doesn't really affect the downforce as much. What would be interesting is how GTPs would go here because of the ground effects. Now, obviously, we have some ground effects history here because of Formula One,
Right,
but we
which
haven't
is
really.
theirs is if you ever if you watch that Formula One race, it's pretty significant the amount of downforce loss that they have.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, super
it is
significant.
it's for those cars because they are so aero dependent. It really makes a huge thing.
Well, if we ever had a wet race here, Jim, in Formula One, it would legitimately be one of the most chaotic Formula One races ever because there'd be no downforce on the cars, and the tires obviously are super slick, so the track would become super slick, and they'd just be spinning off everywhere.
Yeah, that'd be hard to argue with that. Oh, nice.
Well, as we see, Zach Houston up to P2 of his class.
He is.
He's doing a great job at the moment.
I mean, that whole
Caffrey in pit lane now as well, by the way.
So yeah, you got Caffrey pitting, but you got Houston, Basler, and David Steiner right there running together, basically first, second, and third.
What's happened to
Oh yeah, what did happen? Lance Campbell.
Oh, Lance Campbell. Oh, he's had a black flag, Jim.
What?
He's had an unsafe pit entry or a speeding in pit lane penalty because he's been in pit lane. He was in pit lane for 58 seconds. That's not even a tire change.
No, that's a stop.
A tire change is 24 seconds.
Stop. Yeah,
that's a 40-second stop hold.
Yeah. Somebody's got a meatball. Oh, it's Chet Miller. What did Chet do? Let's go see what Chet did. Oh, well, Chet got involved.
Was that Aiden Kiley as well? Or is it DJ Patterson? It's DJ Patterson. Oh no, his night's only going from sadder to sadder. So DJ was trying to get turned around.
God, oh my gosh, please, people. Oh my
DJ.
God, be aware. You're just.
Unfortunately for DJ, he is the driver in the field, one of the two drivers in the field with the lowest I rating as well.
Yeah, but still.
And what I hope is he doesn't get disheartened by this, Jim, but there's actually drivers out there who can help him learn better because oh no, DJ, no.
Yeah, that's, man, you got to feel for Chet Miller there, man. Holy
You
cow.
do. Yeah. That's a real shame. A real shame.
Yeah. Look at Chet's got a nice rig there. Triples with his fourth screen above. Nice setup. All right, so I lost my train of thought there when I started seeing incidents. I don't know where
it was about as derailed as much as Chet Miller's car was.
Well, that's true. Yeah, very unfortunate for Chet there.
So, by the way,
Lance
Ricardo Delgado has just spun down at turn 3, Jim, and he's just given up P2 to Derek Fulker.
Uh-oh.
He's lost his rear wing, so he's had a previous incident, so this car's starting to crash and burn. So he's had a previous incident to this, which was only a moment earlier.
Yep, here it is. Did he get punted?
Oh, it was Chet Miller. He got punted by Chet.
That was right after Chet's incident, too.
Yep, right after it. And I don't think Ricardo knows that he doesn't have a rear wing.
No, I'm sure not. Okay, so what was going on there with Chet?
This is going to be huge. This is going to be huge for the Pro Championship because all of a sudden, Delgado's not going to be scoring nearly as much as what he once thought he would be. Fulker's about to gain massively. Derek Fulker may leave tonight. Actually, I think he will leave tonight as the championship leader if he holds on to that P2 position. Oh, and Chet Miller's just pulling off that camera, and that is a sad man. That is a sad man at a sad sight.
I really want to see what happened there. Did he...
I think unfortunately he braked and
Do you think he was
Delgado
had
just
he?
moved over
I think
slightly in the
he had.
braking
No, I think
zone.
he had damage, and he
He
didn't
did. No,
realize
no,
it.
no, no. Definitely,
No,
definitely has
I
damage.
mean, yeah, he definitely had damage, but I think that he didn't realize that the car wasn't going to turn, and he just shot straight into the back of Delgado there.
I think ultimately he hasn't braked early enough. He
Maybe.
should have braked a little bit earlier and just let him go. Ultimately, for Ricardo Delgado, he's pushing on without that rear wing at the moment because he doesn't want to give up position. He has to withstand this car now for 18 or 17 and a half minutes with Justin Bock right on his tail. He's going to drop off the podium. He's probably going to drop down to P5. Will he lose, though, the 15.3 second gap back to Patron in P6? That's the major question. Because if he remains in the top 5, he may remain in the championship lead out of tonight, and Fulk will be right on his tail.
I mean, clearly, Bach is going to get by him here eventually.
Both Bock and Crosby will get him because they've both got their rear wings, good downforce on the cars. They're both going to be fine. Oh no, we mentioned that. Bock goes round. He must be listening to us. He's listening to us. That is Justin's own problem. He was listening to us when he shouldn't have been.
We don't know that. Could have just cursed him.
No, it was Godzilla.
Yeah, it could have been. I mean, he is running that Godzilla livery there or whatever.
That's a pretty sweet livery, though. Let's be real. Those the cherry blossom on the front as well.
Like it. Okay, well, so that changes that. Backs.
Oh, Ricardo's getting real loose through the stadium. This thing is not going to withstand much longer. Up the inside goes Crosby onto the podium, and the podium is now uncontested for Francis Crosby because realistically, Delgado does not have a hand in the game at this stage.
No.
He has got nothing in his hand in this game of Texas Hold'em. He's holding on to a 2, a 5, king, a 9, just nothing, absolutely nothing.
Yeah, so Basler here's under some heat as well.
We got some black flags, by the way. Cruz and Volpa have both got black flags.
That's got to be, I'm thinking, incident limit.
Incident points. It'll be incident limit for sure. And we've got a meatball flag as well for Chris Grondon too. Holland, by the way, had a meatball previously for a previous incident that he's had. Cole Malley's now in pit lane too for his stop this race, so the race leader comes in for the GT4 class.
Wow.
In fact, he's actually going to leave pit lane in the race lead still. He had a 35-second gap over Matthew Lass, so
he may well and truly get tires.
I mean, might as well. He's got a 35-second gap, Jim. He can give up the time. And Matt Lass is now in the pit lane. So Malley will rejoin in the race lead. He's led every single lap of this race for the GT4 class.
This is not
and he will look to lead every other one as Jacob Cotterman has just broken his ankles apparently and gone around.
This ain't going to be, don't do it. Okay.
That was certainly a selective place to turn around, Jacob, where you could have just pulled up onto the green bit instead of crossing the racing surface, but
yeah, he saw he was free.
He survived.
Yep. Now what I'm curious about is, I think that's it. I think he's good.
Matt Lass now exits pit lane as well, as Malley remains in the race lead for the GT4 class. Volpart has not come in yet to serve his black flag.
No, he has not. And he's
when will he come in?
Third overall
he's got to come in.
Third in class there.
Well, he's about to give up third in class if he doesn't come in.
Well, yeah.
Although he's got a 1 and 12-second gap over Greg Lawrence, he can afford to come in and do the drive-through and still remain on the podium.
That's true.
But he has to commit to it. If he doesn't commit to this drive-through penalty, Vulpa will be disqualified.
Well, we don't know what
out
lap
of this race.
On, so.
Well, he's had it for at least, this is his second lap at least, Jim.
Well,
because he had it when Malley was in pit lane.
That's true. It's funny how all the battles on track kind of disappear briefly. They all just kind of fade away and then they come back.
Yeah. Fade away into obscurity.
Right. I feel poor Lance Campbell, man. Did we talk
Oh
too good
man,
about him or what?
dude, there's so many drivers we can feel for tonight. DJ Patterson of his first incident, you got to feel for. The second one, that's a rookie error, and I think that comes down to that's reflective in his
Yeah.
I rating. I feel, and I think a couple of these guys, it's a good community here. I think they'll get around him, they'll try and teach him their ways, and I think there could be improvement from him. The important thing is that he reaches out to people and asks for the improvement or asks for the help.
Well, also, some of these higher. Oh my God!
Oh,
What the hell just happened?
oh my God!
Whoever that was in that Porsche saw Steiner coming and got the
That was
hell
Philip
out
Caffrey.
of and got the
That was
hell out
Philip
of the
Caffrey.
way.
That was Australian on Australian contact there, Jim. He went down under on him.
Whoa.
That was big. So he was slowing up to let them pass, and I think Steiner had nowhere to go. So actually, if we go back to slightly here, Jim.
I haven't recovered from he went down under on him yet, okay? Give me a second. What in the hell just happened?
There was a very similar incident to this off a race start many years ago at, I believe it was either Hidden Valley or Barbagallo, where off the race start, there was a car that was stalled on the start-finish line, and as a driver known as Carl Reindler was following the race, the starters, a driver right in front of him darted straight out of the way, and he had nowhere to go, and he plowed into the back of another car. And that was stuck on the start grid, and it caught on fire. It was a massive explosion. I'll show you after the race, Jim. It was a big one, and that's very similar to that moment right there. Just the
who did Steiner end up crashing into?
It was Philip Caffrey.
No, Caffrey avoided him, right? Who was the Porsche that got out of the way?
That was Houston.
Oh, that was freaking brilliant on Houston's part right there. All right. So this is the last thing I want to do, and then we'll be done.
So Vulpa's now in, by the way. So, in fact, he's come in for a stop hold with his black flag, although I don't think it is a stop hold black flag for incident points. I believe it's a drive-through. Caffrey's also got a black flag, by the way. Jacob Cotterman's now got a black flag too, so incident points are starting to stack up here.
Indeed are. Man,
let's see if we can find some race info.
What in the world happened there with Steiner?
So yeah, it's a 17x tonight. Then every 8x after that. The DQ is up at 32 this evening. 32x is the DQ limit tonight. So Steiner he's stuck. He is stuck out there.
I don't know what I guess he gave up. I don't know. Self-imposed. I don't know. Wow. I mean, I'm at a loss for some of these incidents tonight. I just don't know what to say. And Jacob Cotterman is absolutely having a horrid night.
Well, so is Harrison Holiday, who's just spun it just on the back end of the circuit after the national circuit corner at the alternate turn 4. So he's in through the S's and around she goes. That drops him some positions. So now at the moment, we've got a little bit of rebalancing that's been done for some positions here. So, of course, Schmall leads the pro class to Fulker and Crosby. Houston leads the pro-ams to Basler and Michael Caffrey. The amateur class is Jed Cotterman leading Greg Lawrence and then Jacob Cotterman in P3. So, Vulpa actually sat in pit lane for 1 minute and 30 seconds. I think he sat there for too long wondering, why isn't my black flag clearing? Because it's a drive-through, not a stop-hold penalty. I think he thought it was a stop-hold. So Eric Cruz...
He still has it, or no?
No, he doesn't have it anymore. It's either... No, he's out. He's left. He left the session. So Vulpa's left the session now. And David Steiner has just towed back to pit lane, by the way, so it's all starting to become unglued now, as Eric Cruz has just spun around as well.
It's got to be turn 16 right there.
This is pure chaos, Jim. Pure, unadulterated chaos right now.
What the
And I have
hell
to
is
say,
going
Jim,
on?
I have to say, pure cinema as well. This is some pure cinema type of stuff.
I don't even know what's happening. I mean, some of these incidents are insane. I mean, we have seen at least 2 absolute murders.
Oh yeah.
I mean, at least 2 that were just, well, really 3 if we count the Corvette guy who ended up spinning. Who the hell did he hit in the rear end? No, the one that he got his front end knocked off. It wasn't his fault, and then he.
Chet Miller.
Yes, yeah. Chet got. That was a bad deal for him with the bad rejoin, which was a murder in itself, actually. And then he murdered whoever that was. He rear-ended. I don't remember. It's too many incidents tonight.
I've already provided a meme into their Discord for this race, Jim. And what I would claim is, as I said, absolute cinema here tonight. It is an absolute menace to drivers out there.
Yeah, I see that.
As we had a chat say, Mexico being a menace as always to drivers. It is, but it's a great track. And I would say if we wanted to avoid off-track incidents and obviously black flags happening, run the national circuit. Then you get the NASCAR track limits and
yeah. But I've watched a lot. I've done several mini races from here already, 10 or 15 at least.
Well,
and I have never seen.
Just quickly, we're still on replay, by the way. So when we go back to live,
well, if you would have told me that, you could have said.
Well, I just realized.
You could have
I
said
just realized.
It doesn't change anything. We were just seeing it slower.
Again, it's like that's like how the History Channel's is news, but told much later.
Yes, exactly. Jed Cotterman had a slowdown, but I mean, it didn't really.
Did you hear the news? Abraham Lincoln was killed in
won World War II. Abraham Lincoln.
Hear the news? Napoleon Dynamite was beheaded.
What?
Not Napoleon Dynamite, Napoleon Bonaparte.
What the hell?
Napoleon Dynamite is the alternate history.
God. We are completely and totally off the rails now.
I hope you watched XCal yesterday, Jim. We were off the rails too.
I did watch a good portion of it today while I was doing some loading up work for your stuff for tomorrow and everything. I did put it on, and Jake was out of control. He was
having a hoot and a half, Jim.
Oh, he was just cussing all over the place. And he was just letting it go. Oh. That's all right.
I want you to know, Jim, that was the first time I've selectively sworn on a broadcast. But that was because I was quoting something.
Yes.
So I found it was fair game. I'm quoting a driver.
Yeah, well, it's all part of their shtick,
Yeah, exactly. We got under 5 minutes to go, though.
Man.
Cole Malley.
He is...
Cool, calm, and collected Malley.
He was dogging some of these GT3 drivers right there, man. He's so quick.
He's just hanging out with them at this stage, and he's getting ready. He's getting prepared to be around GT3 traffic. That's what he's getting. Jed Cotterman out of the AM lead into the wall, and has Jed thrown it away once again?
Out of the lead yet.
Well, he's got 2 minutes back to Greg Lawrence, so he's okay. He's a lap ahead. He's got to survive the next 4 minutes without a rear wing on that Merc. No point bringing it into pit lane now, Jed. You may as well keep going, although if he has a fast repair, he could get in, fix it, and come out again and still lead.
Yes.
So he may be okay.
Let's see. Well, he's right here where he can come in, so.
He's just trying to test himself, Jim.
Yeah, well.
He's trying to, put himself to the sword.
He is staying out. So the question is, does he know he doesn't have a rear wing?
He surely knows.
Does he surely? He probably does know, and don't call me Shirley. There you go. Movie reference.
Okay, Jelly.
That's from what movie is that from? Airplane.
Ah.
The original.
I like that movie.
Yes, the original Airplane.
I love the coffee joke in that movie, Jim.
I don't remember the coffee joke.
It's between the two children that are dressed like adults.
Michael Anderson is small.
Into the back of Daniel Schmoll, who has got a 30-second lead, so he's not really doesn't really affect his race too much. But definitely one to worry about. Schmoll may have to be careful here for incident points, because he's been involved in a couple of incidents thus far tonight.
Oh, he has.
And if he gets a black flag on the last lap, that's it. He's going to be done. Fulker's going to win the race.
That's true. It could happen, too. I wish I knew how many incident points he had right now.
Eric Fernandez has just been disqualified for incident points tonight.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, he hit 35.
Wow.
He's hit the 35 marker.
Oh, there's the Mustang. Who was that was around? That was Lance Campbell.
Yeah, Lance Campbell. So
that ain't the only look.
Worse for him.
No, it's way worse because this ain't even that incident.
So that's Lance's spin. And then he's had to wait for everyone to come past him. I think it was.
Was it?
Or no, he's had it 2 laps in a row, has he?
Yeah, I don't think that was his only incident. I might be wrong.
Well, Jim, we're about to get the white flag.
Well, let's go then.
For Daniel Schmoll, who's got 1 lap to go.
Well, I wonder who's going to run over him this lap.
Oh, who knows? Autódromo Hermanos Rodríguez, 1 final lap left in Mexico City. And for Daniel Schmoll, he has to keep this car on the black stuff. Cannot afford a black flag this lap. If he gets one, it's race win, done and dusted. He'll be out of it.
Delgado just crashed again with the no wing.
His spotter said he was clear. Hopefully he was, and he didn't take anyone else out with him.
To
be fair to Delgado, he is, he's holding it together.
Doing a good job. I mean, it was probably the right strategy at that point. Considering the gap he had and everything.
No, that's right.
If I was small, I wouldn't be getting anywhere near another car right now. The way they've been running.
Just cruise. You have a 32-second gap. You don't need a push.
Yeah, like I'm seriously all over the brakes right here. Especially, no offense, I love Aiden Kiley. I love Aiden a lot, but I wouldn't want to be in front of him right now tonight. He has not had the best night, and I like Aiden a lot. I'm not to be picking on him or anything, but I don't know what Jacob Cotterman just shows that he crashed hard.
Well, Jacob Cotterman, in fact, has just been disqualified for incident limited as well, so he's out of this race now. So that's going to drop him. That's going to give Eric Cruz a podium in the AM class this evening. As down the inside looked for Schmoll, he wanted the run to get a lap over the Mustang ahead of Harrison Holiday. He's not going to get it though, but he will get a race win here tonight out of Mexico City. Autódromo Hermanos Rodríguez, call it Autódromo Daniel Schmoll, who takes home the race win. Zach Houston will look to take home a Pro-Am win this evening and an overall podium for himself. Derek Fulker's finished P2 for the Pro class, by the way. Crosby would love an overall podium here tonight as well, but it is looking to be Zach Houston for the Pro-Ams. Cotterman takes home the AM win. He will be ahead of Lawrence, and then Cruz will be the podium finisher for the amateur class here this evening, although it was gifted to him. And then Cole Malley, dominance personified. He's engineered himself a perfect run this season. He's coded it to perfection as well.
On account, he's been practicing a lot.
That as well.
Account, get it?
Ah, yes, very good, very good. Yeah. He had the formula for victory this season, Jim.
He did indeed, yes. He has, he hadn't got that victory yet. We better.
Through Laguna Seca and Long Beach in the first 2 rounds when we were up in California, now down to the Gulf of Mexico. He is 3-0 in 2026. Undefeated, undeniable, and now fully desirable. Cole Malley takes home the race win once again in the GT4 class.
Oh, I don't even know what you just said there, but I'm pretty sure
un,
something about
it was
desirable, and
undefeated, undeniable, fully desirable, because
oh
now
my
teams are going to
gosh.
be knocking on his door to get him into their team.
Well, that's true. He is, yeah. What a strong evening he's had. All right, let's see if we got some results up yet. Do we? No, we do not yet. We still have cars on the track. Now we do. All right. So our results page is also something that Cole was redesigning for us. So we got the nice, also color themed look here. So let's take a look at the overall results first.
As you can see as well, it was Basler. Actually, hang on. Why is it saying Houston's in P1? That's for Pro-Am. We're on the Pro-Am page,
Oh,
Jim.
are we on Pro-Am page? Oh, well,
Yep.
then let's just look at the pros first. Then how about if we just do that? We'll go through them by category.
Yeah, let's do that. All right, so Daniel Schmall wins it ahead of Derek Fulker and Francis Crosby, Ricardo Delgado, Justin Bock, and then Scott Petrone, Michael Anderson, Kyle Smith, and Brett Thurman. Anderson was 2 incidents away from a drive-through, by the way, at the end of that race, so he was the closest one of them all to getting a black flag in the end there.
Schmall wasn't even really that close, considering.
He was okay. He was all right.
So,
So that wasn't too bad. For the Pro-Ams, it was Houston to Basler, Caffery, Gallant, Holiday. Stephen Smith had 1 incident left on his knocker there before he would get a black flag. Campbell did get a black flag already. Had a Welsh, Caffery. We had 23 incidents tonight, and then Steiner, and then to Holland and Baxter for the top 12 as well. And then down to our amateurs here tonight here as well. It was Jed Cotterman ahead of Greg Lawrence and Eric Cruz. Guess what? They were the only finishers in the amateur class. Jacob Cotterman, was disqualified, so he'll actually be dropped all the way back. David Volper will then move up to P4. Miller will be P5. Herzing, Nelson, and Leneven will move up a position as well, because if Cotterman was disqualified, Jim, he's not classified, so he would move to P9.
That should be correct, yes.
Would not get any points. It would be like he didn't show up at all here this evening.
Right, and then our GT4.
And then for our GT4s, of course, it was Cole Malley to John Voight, Matt Lass. For the top 3, Patton Schaefer ahead of Lavrisa, Smith, Bassina, Oldfield, and Grondon. Kyden on 25 incidents. Fernandez disqualified for getting past 32 incidents. Gerard, DJ Patterson, well, he had a night to forget, and Herschel Lawrence at the back end as well.
How about the top 5, though?
Yeah, I mean,
4
look at it all.
incidents,
Just
6
keep it clean.
incidents. Yeah, that literally is what it's all about. Keep it clean.
Yeah. How about Jim, we keep the results screens up while we have our interviews with them? How about that? How does that sound?
Well, I was going to pull up some replays while because we could do our podium. We could do this.
Oh, that's true. We could do that.
So let's see who you want to pull in first. You tell me.
We'll pull in Cole first. We'll go by class. We'll move up the class ladder, and we'll have a quick chat to Cole Malley.
Well,
first
actually,
and foremost.
It doesn't work like that. So.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I know. That's something we're going to have to change. All right, so let's keep the results up then. We'll do that.
Hello, Mr. Malley. Welcome in. P1 tonight for the GT4 class. Labeled you as undefeated, undeniable, fully desirable at the end of that race, because dominant performance, 32.8 seconds, 4 incidents to your name across the whole race. I think I found someone, Jim, who's going to be running the mid-shift of the Bathurst 12-hour in only a month's time.
I know, right?
Oh, my goodness.
Mr. Consistent Cole Malley is going to be there for the taking.
We'll do our best.
So I did give you a little shout-out for your graphic help this week, using some of that coding that you're good at. And Hamish and I have a project list now that's probably is it's getting longer than your win list this season, which is pretty impressive. So
okay, sounds good. We can make that happen.
So we next is we need to find out if you can do plugins, if you can actually build plugins.
Goodness.
Then we're going to have some really fun with you. But anyway,
all right,
back to your victory tonight. I mean, you kept it clean. No, very few incident points, and I think that was the name of the game around here tonight. This place was chaos. I don't know what you saw from your end, but, man alive, it was chaos out there.
Oh, man, I don't I don't actually know how I managed to only get 4 incidents. In the practices, both yesterday and before that, I think I managed to get 2 incidents per lap on average. It's a very, it's a slidey track,
Yes.
and there's a lot of perfect timings that you have to get where you rotate the car, get the weight just centered, and it's difficult. I'll be very transparent. It's difficult.
Well, you pulled it off when you needed to tonight for sure. The top 5 in your class all had less than 10 incident points, which in this field tonight was very minimal.
Oh, absolutely. And I do want to give a shout out to all these guys because they've all been instrumental in helping me get better, because every time I'd set a good lap, one of those top 5 would set another one that's just higher. And we were helping each other grow. And I think that was really great.
Now, I'm speaking about growing, Cole. So we did have a couple of issues tonight with a few drivers. And I mentioned on the show that this is not to pick on DJ at all. This is just to maybe point out to some GT4 drivers, maybe reach out to DJ. He really struggled tonight out there, and he is one of the lower I rating drivers in the field. And I think he's someone that would really benefit from some tips in terms of dealing with traffic management, but also learning to look at his relative, because ultimately there was an avoidable incident tonight with a GT3 car where he tried to turn his car around and a GT3 was coming around the corner, and just a messy incident, and one that definitely could have been avoided, but there was no malice behind it, obviously. So I think, if the GT4 drivers can all get around each other, help each other improve, and make it a safe place for all of them to go driving, I think that'll also make it a safe place for the GT3 drivers as well across the rest of the season, especially with some of the challenging tracks that are coming up. I mean, Indianapolis, that infield's going to be tough for traffic filtering. Same for Interlagos, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, that's going to be tough as well. And then looking later on in the season, VIR and Road Atlanta, they're going to be really, really tough for the traffic management as well.
Yeah, and I think you nailed it on the head. But the reality is that we all need to grow, and especially some of those people that have never done this before. It's up to us as people who have done this, veterans of either leagues or multi-class racing, to really try and do our best to help them out.
Absolutely.
So that's something that we definitely want to do in the future.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
And I think that's a sense of the community that's here, isn't it, Jim? And I think
absolutely. Yeah, that's a big part of what this league is founded on. So, and clearly there are plenty of guys out there willing to do that. So, that's awesome. So, since we got you in here and you've got another victory, who are you going to shout out to this week?
Oh, I have to shout out to my wife. I mean,
course.
she puts the baby down. She brings her down so I can give her a kiss goodnight. It's wonderful. But like I said, top 5, John Voight, Matt Last, Corey Patton. I want to, especially John Voight and Corey Patton, they kept pushing. They kept getting us down to a 149 lap time, and that for the GT4s was phenomenal, and it was really, really helpful. But also, I want to give a shout out to you guys for continuously, putting on a good broadcast. I love watching it the next day. It's always a highlight of my day. So thank you guys.
Well, all right.
Oh, thank you so much, Cole. Congratulations on your P1 in the GT4 class. Best luck next week at Road America. We look forward to seeing how you go. And I think next week should be a little bit easier for the GT4s in terms of the traffic management. It's a nice wide track, plenty of long straights to let people past. And I think we should come home with I would say a few more GT4 cars finishing that race than we had tonight.
Let's hope.
Especially because the off tracks are not nearly as aggressive next week.
Oh, absolutely. And it's my favorite track. So win-win.
Oh, we'll see how you go. We'll see if you can make it 4 in a row here in the GT4 class. Cole Malley, 3-0 at this stage. Race winner once again here in Mexico City. Mexico City. Thanks so much, Cole.
All right. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you. Yep, we will do. Next up, we have our GT3 AM race winner here tonight in Jed Cotterman. And the first two questions we have to ask Jed before we get into the small little nitty and gritty here. Number one, how painful is Jacob now that he's been disqualified from a race, Jed? And then number 2, did you realize you didn't have a rear wing for those final 4 minutes of this race?
Well, to answer your first question, he shut off his rig and he left our little sim room, so he's not too happy. And the second, I did not until I just got loose and spun, and then when Daniel drove by, he was like, "Hey, you don't have a wing." So Very, very, very frustrated tonight.
Well, it was a tough track, tough for off tracks as well. How was it dealing with the how was it dealing with obviously not only the off track stuff, but also the traffic management as well? It was difficult for some drivers out there for dealing with it. How did you find it this evening from an amateur driver's point of view, especially sitting inside the top 10?
I won't read into that, but
You should.
that was pretty good. That was pretty good. I'll give you that. Traffic management tonight was just, it was terrible.
Well,
The GT4s were not predictable. They just kind of acted like they were the only ones on the track, to be honest.
I'm sure that you're going to find plenty of GT4 drivers that will say the exact same thing in reverse. I will suggest that maybe you reach out and find a local homicide detective in your area and bring him on board, because there were so many murders tonight on track. It was unbelievable. I've never seen so many. I mean, just absolute murders. At least 6 of them.
Yeah, I've got a bunch. I've got a full inbox full of
I bet you
messages
do.
that
I bet
I'm
you
sure
do.
that it's going to take me all night to go through, but it's just I don't understand why it is so hard to have a little freaking patience and some respect. It is not difficult, and we act like once the green flag drops, like we act like I don't even know how to describe it. It's just pathetic. Is the only word that comes
Well,
to mind right now. Just some of the way these guys drive. I'm just going to start kicking people, and I'm not going to lose a damn bit of sleep over it. That's where I'm at right now.
well,
It's
so
absolutely trash.
I'm going to I'm going to remind everyone that we just talked to Cole Malley about potentially helping some of the other GT4 drivers who are maybe newer to this kind of stuff. And I get that you're frustrated, and especially getting all of that during the race and all and everything. I would say when you sit back and look at this, the better answer is probably for some of the more experienced guys and with multi-class racing to help some of these guys out. I mean, I'm sure there's some multiple offenders that there's no other no other course of action maybe than to heavily penalize them or remove them from the league. But I think that there's a lot of guys out here that that just need a little help. But I will say this: some of these incidents tonight came from very experienced drivers. I'm not really sure what was in the water down there, but we've all heard of Montezuma's revenge. I'm pretty sure that
Oh
must
yeah,
have been what happened here tonight, because there was a lot of really talented drivers making some horrible mistakes tonight.
yeah. I heard it on the radio, and I had to remind everybody of the rules. And I I, I don't know. I don't know.
Let's just
I mean,
let's just leave it
I
to
feel
you
like
to you
I
review some
feel
of
like
those
we
things.
are
And
continually just getting worse, and there's no explanation. There's no reason for it. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. I think that the first thing that comes to my mind is that they felt free tonight after Long Beach. With the track walls and everything, they felt like they could run a little harder, and maybe it bit them in the ass a little bit. I don't know, but we'll leave it there for now, and let you review some of this stuff before any decisions are made, because. I'm a believer that tonight was more of a one-off than the norm or getting worse. I really do. I think that there was something about tonight that just bred this kind of activity.
I mean, I was really looking forward to this race. We had 45 people show up, and as I look at the results, 30% of the field is 5 laps down or more. I mean, it's unexcusable. It's terrible. It's just terrible.
Well, I have faith. I think it will get better. So, but congratulations on your race victory tonight, even without a wing. And you got any shout outs you want to do other than shouting at people?
Yeah, I apologize for that, man. Like, I'm just,
No, I get it.
dude,
We pulled you in here right after the race.
it
No, I get it. And then I
it's
brought it
just,
up. So,
I put all my, blood, sweat, and tears into this league, and I try to lead by example, and it's not that difficult. It's really not, and I just don't understand where the lapse is from the brain to the foot in some people, but whatever.
All right.
But I'm just gonna give it to you guys tonight, man. I'm gonna go back and watch the broadcast. We'll see what happens.
Yep.
I'm sure you guys will make the most of it. You always do. It's always a great,
no.
final product.
We had some good television tonight because there was some wild shit happening. Let me just say that. So as far as the television quality, it was great. But all right, buddy. Well, we're gonna finish up these interviews before I cost you another arm and a leg there.
Yeah, Jacob's already doing that. So good. Get the rest of these guys, and we'll see you next week at Road America.
All right, man.
Well, next up we have our Pro-Am winner here tonight in Zach Houston, who drove very, very well here this evening. Zach, congratulations. Race win. First US race winner this season as well for the Pro-Am class. Congratulations on that front.
Guys.
There was a very close incident between you and Philip Caffrey down at turn one, about 3/4 of the way through the race, which actually saw you dive out of the way at the very last moment, and David Steiner had nowhere to go and just drilled the back of him. Were there a couple of stains in your seat after that moment, or was it just perfectly tactical from your point of view?
Honestly, I was not even looking behind me. I was so concerned into not bashing his rear bumper off that
So
I was
you
not even
dove
paying
out of the
attention.
way because you were about to hit him and ultimately saved your butt.
For sure, yeah. I guess it just so happened to work out. I wondered where he went.
He went all right.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
No, it was a good race.
Man, you should have never admitted to that because I gave you so much credit on that broadcast about how intuitive you were to get out of the way at the last second there to avoid that incident. I had you at hero status, man, and you just blew it all to hell. Thanks for
We'll
that.
call it natural instinct, huh?
That's what you had eyes in the back of your head.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Zach, a very strong win for yourself tonight. Does this give you some confidence now going into next week at Road America, where I would argue the traffic management's going to be a little bit easier than this week at Mexico?
For sure. I love Road America. I'm pumped for it. Mexico, I've only raced a handful of hours on at this point, but I feel like I've progressed. I like the track overall. The thin air is tough, but it's a good track.
I think it's one that a lot more racing series should be running at. Miley gets to run Porsche Cup. There's a Porsche Cup series cars there later on in the season, and I'm super excited for it. I think GTs here were great too. I'd love to see an endurance race at this place. I think that'd be really, really cool with the GTPs as well. But Zach, a phenomenal effort. Congratulations on your first race win of the season. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go this evening?
A shout out to Francis. That was a good race with him at the end. I can't believe I passed him and almost lost it right away after passing him. My tires were so cooked at that point. But good racing with him. He was on it.
Well, great race tonight, Zach. Congratulations on the success this evening. Best luck next week at Road America. We look forward to seeing how you go.
Thanks, guys. See you next week.
Thank you so much. Next up is our GT3 Pro winner and overall winner here this evening as well. Winning it with a little bit of controversy, though, it is Daniel Schmoll. Daniel, congratulations. Race win here tonight. But there were a couple of incidents that we need to call out, i.e. the stadium section is not your friend, apparently. There were some incidents with some lap traffic where you gave him a little bump and then you got spun round and then you rejoined and you hit a Porsche as it was coming through. Was it a little bit of red mist or was it just a bit of a brain fade at that moment?
So I gotta say my FOV at that point, it was not set for me to look out, and I thought I checked my relative. Apparently I didn't, so I apologize on that, man. Yeah, I don't know what happened with the incident that then caused that. So I was just gonna go up the inside of the guy. I don't know if I got bumped. Maybe he turned me. I don't know. And then I see on my relative too that I have Ricardo maybe like at that point maybe 8 seconds. So I'm just trying to boogie.
I mean, it was a tough moment. Although you kept yourself cool, calm, and collected aside from the unfortunate Porsche that was taken out off the back of it, but still though a tough and ultimately just maybe a more stressful race in terms of trying to hold the gap. You built the gap really well, so you had really good pace. Were you confident coming into this one off the back of practice and qualifying, knowing the sort of pace you had under you?
So absolutely. So when I was racing this track in IMSA, I want to say either maybe last season and this season, that's originally when I first picked up the M4, and obviously with the high altitude and everything, any car that is turbocharged just absolutely excels, and everything naturally aspirated kind of bogs out. So I knew I had good pace going into this. I've done maybe let's see. I want to say I've done at least maybe 60 races on this track within like ever since it got released. So I knew I had the experience on it. I knew I had good pace. Originally, I didn't know how it was going to go with Ricardo because I know that that guy has incredible pace. He's my main opponent when it comes to my other league on Saturday nights. So it felt really good to actually have all that pace on him.
Well, I mean, you proved that you had good pace tonight, and do you think you're going to be able to carry some of this pace into next week at Road America as well, or do you think there's still some work to be done?
So I do love Road America, and I know I have nice pace on that as well. I guess I'll have to see when the next practice session goes up or on race day how the pace is everybody, but I definitely should be up towards the front of the pack. So I guess we'll go from there.
Well, we look forward to seeing how you do go across next week and into the next half of the season as well. Daniel, we really appreciate you coming and have a chat to us. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to this evening before we let you go?
So I would like to say, so I would like to hand a shout out to my girlfriend who's watching right now. And on top of that, I know that right now, my dad is also watching right now. So I'd like to give a huge shout out to him, all because he supports me with sim racing. In fact, he's the main reason why I got into sim racing. Like my earliest memory of racing is watching him race NASCAR 2003 on the computer. So ultimately, he's probably the reason why I do this today.
Well, we love to hear those, obviously, like second generation sort of stories. I'm someone like that. I know Jim's son's like that as well. So we appreciate your time, Daniel. Best of luck next week out at Road America, and great job this evening on your race win. Congratulations.
And thank you.
Thank you. Well, Jim, that'll bring us to an end in what was a chaotic race for sure.
Yeah.
A race where pressure personified, pressure creates diamonds, and some of these drivers they came out on top as, precious gems, and others came out like Swarovski crystals.
Blood pressure creates heart attacks.
It does. It does do that.
Like
shout out Chipotle.
Poor Jed. That's right. That's exactly right. Shout out to Chipotle. That's a good one.
Thank you.
That was a really good one, actually. Jed's frustration there. I kind of took advantage of the fact that we had him in there, and I just and I'll say this in his defense. I'm no doubt he's frustrated with the way that things went tonight, but imagine trying to run a race and win your race and constant, this crap is going on all over the radio and everything that he had to deal with because it was a madhouse tonight,
The one thing that I think, and I'm happy to help Jed find someone that can do it, or help teach someone to do it in some way. The best thing I think this league needs now, Jim, is live race control.
Yeah, it's got to be somebody that's got experience. So you can't teach anybody to race control a 50-car grid.
No, that's right. It needs to be there. It can't be one person.
It's got to be somebody.
I think it needs to be
people
three
that know what they're doing, and they got to make decisions.
And I think as well, Jim, ultimately, one of those people needs to be a safety car driver.
Yeah, that's we'll save that one for a debate during a race.
Yeah.
'Cause
No, for sure.
but I don't disagree with race control. It's just unfortunate. It just continues to add cost to these leagues. But anyway, we'll explore that next week at Road America a little bit.
We will. We will indeed. And there'll be plenty of things to talk about next week in terms of that too. I'll compile this week. I'll get Jed to send me the rule book for this league. We'll do some comparisons to other rule books out there, and to say, look, this is where drivers need to be learning, and this is where drivers need to be applying themselves to the rules and learning the rules and understanding, well, this is how this is run, and driving to the rules. When a league is dictated by rules, you need to race to the rules, and that is ultimately what will get you cleaner and faster in these series. So plenty to be discussed next week at Road America. You guys do not want to miss it. We're live once again Wednesday evening next week as we head out for round 4 of the Full Throttle Nation Ultimate GT Challenge. A big shout out has to go out, Jim, to our stream sponsors once again, obviously. DRE Digital Race Engineer, Track Cams by Gourmet, and one of our sponsors, but also one of the league sponsors too, the Roasted Record down in Florida. Get yourself a brew and listen to some tunes down there. You get yourself a nice coffee, buy yourself some records. Just have a grand old time.
Also, mail order 20% discount if you use the code SIM20 for any of their coffees that they do all of them by mail, all artisan roasted stuff. By the way, just real quick, David Steiner sent me a private message and said that was on him. He completely lost concentration, was looking at something else and missed his brake marker and caused that accident.
Fair play, David Steiner, for taking it on the chin.
Absolutely.
Fair play.
100%.
Well, we appreciate everybody's time once again. Be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe, the bell icon too, if you haven't done so already, here from Motormouth Broadcasting. So much more content still to come your way this weekend. A lot of truck action coming your way in the weekend now. Thursday evening, of course, Oakhouse Racing Truck Series, and then backing that up is the Maximum Velocity Racing League's Truck Series as well. Myself and Wesley will be in the booth for that one. Yes. Jim will not be there, unfortunately, this week, but myself and Wesley will be holding the reins for this week as we go racing at once again at, I think it's Vegas Motor Speedway this week for that series. Obviously, Friday night, Bite Point comes here to Autódromo Hermanos Rodríguez. Saturday night as well. It is going to be a lot of fun. Saturday night as well, I2I has got their truck series running, and of course OGRL Coffee Cup returns as well this weekend too. So much more to find this weekend in terms of racing. There's a little bit of everything for everyone, so you can find it on the channel in the live section of the channel as well. We appreciate everybody's time. Big shout out to all the series sponsors that help bring the series on board with us and to the circuit for us as well. So big shout out to those guys. And myself, Hamish Runner, and Jim Cunningham, appreciate your time. Appreciate you being here with us once again for the Ultimate GT Challenge out in Mexico City. We'll see you guys next week for Road America. But until then, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.